In Iran, internet users are slowly gaining online access again after months of blackouts. Authorities in Iran first shut down the internet in January during a violent crackdown on large anti-government protests. A further shutdown was imposed at the start of the US-Israeli strikes on Iran at the end of February, cutting off roughly 90 million Iranians from the internet for most of the year. It's been described as the longest nationwide internet shutdown in modern history. Online access is now slowly being restored this week, but many users have complained of limited connectivity and restrictions on many sites.
Maybe there are 10% of people who want to abuse this situation, but the other 90% are suffering. We've incurred heavy losses, and I don't know how this is going to be compensated. We have all regressed. I can tell you that in these 4 months, we've perhaps regressed 10 years.
There was a sense of isolation, as if we'd been cut off from the world and even within Iran. As someone who works with children, I need to be in constant contact with them and to see what's happening in the global art world. I needed to see these things, but I was completely cut off. I didn't know what was happening. I could only see my immediate surroundings. The house, the street corner, places like that. I couldn't see anything else.
Most people had gotten used to ordering online, and that's why we suffered a huge loss from this situation, losing good customers.
Some voices there from inside Iran. We can now speak to Siba Shakib. She's an Iranian writer, filmmaker, journalist, and now joins us on the line. Siba, internet connection came partially back on Wednesday. What are you hearing? What's the situation right now?
Thank you for shedding light on Iran, Gerhard. Well, the internet is very slow. Every connection breaks down every couple of minutes. We have to redial. And even text messages take a long time before they get to the people and before we receive an answer. And a great deal of damage has been done, as you showed in your little film. Not only private connections have broken down for 88 days, that's a long time. And especially, it is not just any time, it is a time after which 40,000, some say 50,000 people have been killed within only 2 days by the government. More than 10,000 people have been shot in the face so that they lost their eyesight. And more than 400,000 people have been injured and are being shot dead partially in the hospitals. Doctors who take care of them have been imprisoned, have been shot down as well in the hospital.
Now, about the timing of this reopening, why has the regime done this now? Is this mainly a business decision to support businesses who rely on the internet?
I think the Islamic government in Iran has been making and is making all its decisions randomly, and there is no real logic behind it, and there is no real reasoning behind it, and they are not united anymore. Don't forget, the IRGC is now the major force in the government. Religious influence has been diminished, and a lot of private people, like, for instance, Pezeshkian, are trying to have a say in this mishmash that is existing since a couple of months.
Now, does this also mean that the regime is not afraid of protests anymore?
Oh, yes, they are. And all the news, I'm just coming from a meeting where we have tried to coordinate the information that we get from our contacts, friends and family in Iran. And it seems to be that, fact is that the government has been, as I just mentioned, shot many people in the hospitals that they didn't get in the first place on 8th and 9th of January, but only injured them, and now they go and finish the job, as they say. And they have executed more than 2,000 people in the prisons. Children, young people, they have just executed them in 5-minute trials, not even a real trial.
Now, the reopening of the internet, if you will, even if it's only partial and a bit sketchy, will that make a difference for what remains of the opposition?
Look, the opposition, unfortunately, is imprisoned. Narges Mohammadi, one of the, or maybe the most famous activist who also received the Nobel Peace Prize, is in hospital right now. And they anyway have no internet, and they anyway have no access to publish their opinions and be active as us who are outside the country, or even people in Iran who are active. And I think that, yes, without internet, we are doomed once again. But the biggest problem we have right now is that Trump had promised he will change the regime. Help is on its way. And since the war began against Iran, the situation has not only not improved, but it's become worse. And some of us think that it's worse than ever, because for the first time, the United States of America and Israel have come into Iran to help the change of regime, the change of government, and all they have done is make the government even stronger.
The Iranian writer and filmmaker Siba Shakib there. Thank you very much, Siba, for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you.